The feud between Donald Trump and Nancy Pelosi comes down to the fact of who should be paying for the windows. It all started after the election, maybe a week or two. Nancy Pelosi comes in the Trump Tower. She's screaming and yelling, "Where is he? Get that MF down here now. I know he fixed the election. Blah, blah, blah." I happened to come down with Shamar Moore in the elevator. Yes, that's Shamar Moore. And we were watching the security desk deal with her. And then I called up and I was like, "Nancy Pelosi's down here freaking out. You might want to talk to her." He was like, Trump, I mean, not Shamar Moore, was like, "I don't have time. I'm working on the transition," and hung up on me. And then she saw me on the phone. She's like, "Was that him?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she said, "What did he say?" And I didn't want her screaming at me. So I was like, the call dropped. The cell phone reception is bad in Trump Tower. She's like, "He needs to get his all this curse words down here now." And I was like, "I don't think he's coming." She's like, "If he doesn't come down here now, I'm going to put my foot through this window." So now, of course, security, me, Shimon, we're all laughing because we know the window's bulletproof, reinforced with vibranium. So she sees us all laughing and she's like, "Okay, I'll show you all." So she walks out and we're thinking, well, she's just going to leave. She does a spin kick and puts her foot through the window. It sounded like an explosion. We all hit the ground. Glass went everywhere. And of course, the sound was so loud, it blew all the other windows out. So now there's no windows in the bottom of the Trump Tower. And she's screaming and yelling, "Get him down here now. Get him down there now. I'm going up to get him." Security's trying to take her down. And she is doing all types of martial arts moves. And Shamar Moore looks at me, he's like, "Doesn't that look like Bruce Lee?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the technique is almost impeccable, and you can't tell the difference." I'm like, "I guess that's why they call her Ninja Nancy." So finally, they called in the cops. The cops saw her beating up the security guard. NYPD was having none of it. So they brought in SWAT. And so now Nancy Pelosi's there, SWAT's there, they're doing their 222 thing. And I thought it was about to go down. And Shamar Moore's like, "I think I got an idea for a TV show." So he takes Nancy Pelosi and they leave. But still, who's going to clean up the mess and pay for the windows? And I guess vibranium is very expensive. In bulletproof glass. So Trump had the money because he had worked out a deal with the aliens in Area 51. We're going to start paying rent. So he used that money that they gave him for the deposit to fix the windows. But he thought Nancy Pelosi would reimburse him, but she never did. And she tried to say, well, she was on taxpayer business, so Congress should reimburse them. And Congress is like, "No, you were there. You went crazy on your own. We saw the videotape." Well, she's like, "I'm not paying." So Trump's like, "Okay, you don't have to pay. Just give me a cut from the TV show SWAT that Shamar Moore got." So I guess because of it, Nancy Pelosi gets her cut. So she's like, "Okay," and they're filming. Next thing you know, the TV show comes out. It's doing well. It's been renewed for a couple of seasons. Not a dime. Not a dime. So Trump's like, "Well, all that money that I used for the windows, that was supposed to pay for the tax cuts." She's like, "I don't care. I'm not paying." So now Trump is in this bind. So now the deficit's going up. People are like, "Well, how are you going to pay for the tax cuts?" He's like, "It's not going to increase the deficit," because he knew he had the alien rent deposit to put down and then their rental money. But now all that money had to go to pay for the windows in Trump Tower. And Nancy Pelosi, I think, should pay for the windows. At least give her a cut from, if she's not going to give her speaking fees and give her congressional salary, even though we know that's not that much. But those speaking fees are pretty hefty. She should give her a cut from the profits of SWAT with Shamar Moore, and now of course Shamar Moore's been dragged into it because people are asking him to talk to her because he calmed her down that day. They figured he could calm her down again, and then Mr. Pelosi got jealous because he didn't want Nancy leaving him for Shamar Moore, and so now it's a big mess, and everyone's just fighting. But the thing is, if she just signs over the royalties from SWAT, we could avoid all this and all the other feuding and back and forth and Twitter wars, and we can get back to government and get people back to work. But she's just not budging. And, after everyone saw her put her foot through that window and her street name now is officially Ninja Nancy, no one's going near her. So I don't know what to do. I mean, so people ask me, obviously, because I usually am the fixer. But I was like, I don't know. She doesn't even like me, so I don't know why I would go near her. And so I think we may have to come up with a bill or a constitutional amendment to make Nancy Pelosi pay from her profits or royalties from SWAT. Because she's the one who broke the window. It's a simple thing. You break something, you pay for it. Everyone knows that. I don't know why it doesn't apply to her.